Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning, rise and shine. It's 8 a.m. on this Saturday, August 10th. And Mia, it is tax-free weekend. I know that some parents probably got their kiddos up early so they can not just beat the traffic, but probably beat the heat too, because another triple-digit day.
We're going to be pretty close to it here in San Antonio this afternoon. That's going to be the big story this weekend, and frankly, even into next week as a lot of those kiddos get ready to head back to school. Highs near or in the triple digits. We are starting off on a warm and muggy note, relatively speaking, here in San Antonio. Already at 80 degrees here officially in the Alamo City. Good morning to folks up in Bernie, 72, the current air temperature, 77 in Hondo, 76 just off to our south out there in Poteet. I do anticipate plenty of sunshine out there today, especially by lunchtime. Notice how your temperatures respond, though, as a result, warming up to 92, already feeling close to the triple-digit mark for any lunchtime plans at noon. 98, the forecast high temperature here in San Antonio. There's that 10 to 20% potential by and after about 4 to 5 o'clock to see an isolated shower or storm before the day is done. Coverage is expected to be relatively low, kind of like what we saw yesterday. Looking ahead to next week, just dry and hot with high pressure really in control of our weather pattern. We are in the dog days of summer, and we're seeing that reflected in your forecast. Highs in the triple digits continue. So we're going to break down those details coming up here in just a second. Also get you a look at our triple digit counter, what we've seen so far here in San Antonio this year, compare it to last year, and also get you another update on what we're monitoring in the tropics. Sarah.
Mia, thank you. After several days of deliberating, a jury has finally handed down a punishment for Alexandra Castro. He's the man convicted of criminally negligent homicide for the crash that killed 24-year-old Alexandra Sabert back in 2022. Police say he was driving more than 90 miles an hour and had several drinks at a local bar before slamming into Sabert's car on 281. Castro received 10 years probation, a 2-year driver's license suspension, and 180 days in jail. Well, more than 2 months since the shooting and killing of a West Side man, his family worries the case might have gone cold. Now, Crime Stoppers is offering reward for information that could lead them to the suspects. On May 22nd, 23-year-old Joshua Solis and his girlfriend were parked at a Family Dollar off of Culebra in Callahan. According to San Antonio police, the suspects approached the truck. As Joshua tried to drive away, he was hit by gunfire and crashed into a light pole. His mom heartbroken from the loss of her son and just trying to remain strong.
Okay, and I love him so much, and I miss him so much. But I'll be okay because I have his strength.
As Joshua's case nears 3 months without an arrest, Crime Stoppers is now offering a reward for information that leads to a suspect. So if you know anything, you're asked to call them at 210-224-STOP. And of course, you can remain anonymous. A new poll shows an overwhelming majority of Texans say the state has a housing affordability crisis. That poll was done through the University of Texas and Texas Southern University. So 90% of Texans said that housing affordability is a problem where they live. More than half of Texans polled said they face some amount of financial strain resulting from housing costs. And that agreement held up regardless of education or income, race, gender, where poll respondents live, and whether they own or rent their home. So one researcher said, quote, to have 9 out of 10 Texans agree on anything is really tough. I think what that says is that at the very highest level, housing affordability is an issue that transcends partisan politics, end quote. So about 54% of Texans polled said they would favor government policies that boost the amount of affordable rental housing for lower and middle income Texans, while 26% say they oppose that. Another 20% were undecided. The poll's findings are the latest to point to the pressure Texans are facing because of the state's high housing costs. Delta announced yesterday they will officially start taking passengers to and from Boston Logan International Airport on November 11th, and you can start booking those flights today. It will be a once daily flight arriving in San Antonio in the morning and then departing to Boston in the afternoon. Let's get Getting closer and closer every day, back to school season right now as students across our area get ready to be back in the classroom and have already started. To help you out, there's a back to school fair happening right now on the city's southwest side. Our Devin Karp is there giving us a preview of what's to come before the event starts. Good morning, Devin.
Yeah, good morning, Sarah. This event is a pretty big deal. This has helped thousands of families in the past, and even though we've still got an hour till it starts, take a look at the line that's already starting to get here as people line up for some of these school supplies. Now, this is happening at the Palo Alto College Performing Arts Center. That's here on the southwest side of town. This is being put on by the San Antonio Food Bank, Palo Alto College, University Health, and Texas Representative for District 117, Philip Cortez. Now, here they're going to be giving out things like free backpacks, free school supplies, and lots of immunizations for kids need for getting back to school. There's lots of local community organizations that are going to be providing resources for the kids, whether we're talking after school programs, different things that they can do during and before school, as well as some public health services. Now, like I mentioned, we're already seeing a not so insignificant line ahead of the back to school fair. So this is going to be starting at 9, but like you see some of the people here, don't be afraid to get here early to start lining up while some of the supplies last for everything you need to get back to school. I'm going to head inside and see if we can talk to an organizer, learn a little bit more about what's behind this. But for now, Sarah, I'm going to send it back to you. Devin Karp, KSAT 12 News.
Yeah, people already lining up there, Devin. Okay, 8:06, 80 degrees. As kids head back to school next week, parents might be going to the grocery stores this weekend to get some food for their lunches. So after the break, healthy lunch advice to keep your kids healthy this school year. 80 degrees at 8:06. Tax-free weekend, lots of back-to-school shopping. Mia's suggesting start early because it's going to be very, very hot today. She'll have her forecast for us when we come back. Plenty of kids will be in the school cafeteria line next week. For others, their parents are packing their lunches. And I talked with the nutritional educator at the San Antonio Food Bank to get some quick and healthy lunch tips for your kiddos. Packing lunches can be time-consuming, especially when you want something healthy. It's why the San Antonio Food Bank nutritional educator, Fabiola Corrales, is showing us some easy options. Why is it so important for parents to pack healthy lunches rather than just grabbing that easy, processed, already made food?
The most important thing, you prevent chronic disease, right? Right now we have enormous problem with chronic disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, and sometimes it's just because our kid or a little one, they're not in risk on it. Let me tell you, it's not true. We are in risk, everybody.
So what are we gonna make today?
This is a wrap, you can see right here. It's a tortilla roll up, and I will make very fast, and you will see how easy it can be. First, you will need this whole wheat tortilla, okay?
Whole wheat, not flour.
No flour, this is whole wheat. So we have extra fiber here, iron, and plus you have less sugar than the other tortillas. So we have to spread this hummus in the tortilla. One time you make this. We have some spinach, carrots, and cucumbers.
So this is a veggie wrap.
Yeah, and you have a lot of iron, fiber, and vitamins with this.
And this is something you can pack the night before so you can just grab and go out of the fridge in the morning.
Exactly.
And here's some more ideas. Energy bites made with oats, honey, pumpkin seeds, and sun butter. Or you can pack a parfait made with yogurt, a great source of protein with berries and granola. Fabiola says always pack a side of fresh vegetables like cucumbers or carrots. Dips like hummus make it fun. And fruit. If your child wants chips, use pretzel sticks instead. And if your school allows, peanut butter is a good source of protein. Always include water, not juice or soda. She says including your kids in the kitchen when making their lunches the night before makes them excited to eat them the next day. For more healthy, easy recipes, check out San Antonio Food Bank's chefsa.org website that has so many options. I'm Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News. And Mia, that chefsa.org website, not just lunch ideas for kids, but I mean, they have recipes for adults. They're in English and in Spanish. I mean, someone who is illiterate in the kitchen like myself was like, oh, this actually makes me excited. Like, I can do this.
What I love so much about some of those ideas is that they're so quick and easy. And I think you even brought this point up. You can prepare them the night before. Like, that's my saving grace. Packing lunch, doing it the night before. So that way, whenever I'm getting ready in the morning, I can just grab it and go to work.
And I liked her advice, getting the kids involved in the routine. Yeah. So it's like
and they'll carry that with them and they'll be educated on it. And let's face it, refreshing kind of fruits and things like that are so nice on hot days too.
Oh, absolutely.
I used to love, like, frozen grapes were my favorite thing growing up.
Or frozen bananas.
In the summer, you just pop them out of the freezer and it's a lot healthier than some of the other food that you could be eating. And it's refreshing whenever we have triple digit heat. And we're going to be pretty close to that again this afternoon. Let's talk about those triple digits. So far this year, we've seen 14 triple digit days here in San Antonio. Yesterday we got up to 99, so we were just shy of the century mark. That is, yes, hot, but it's a far cry from where we were this time last year. We were already dealing with 45 triple digit days that we had seen back in 2023. And yes, it is still going to be hot this weekend, and that's going to continue into next week with highs climbing to the triple digit mark, especially by the 12th and even into the second half of next week. So that's something to think about for the kiddos that are headed out back to school. Make sure to pack the water bottle with them. They're going to need it. Recess will likely be pretty hot as well. But this time last year, again, still not as bad as where we were 365 days ago. 106 was our temperature this day last year. That was the hottest temperature that August 2023 had actually seen. So it's just good to put those in perspective. But yes, you're still going to want to be careful out there in the heat this weekend. High pressure is still very much in control. And you can see the rain-making energy is just being deflected around the northern edge of that high pressure system. There's some scattered rain moving across the Texas Panhandle and even into Oklahoma this morning. What we saw last night, we did manage to find a few isolated showers and storms out there. That actually was thanks to a stalled frontal boundary across central and southeastern Texas here at the surface. That's going to continue to work away from the state of Texas. However, we have one more isolated chance this evening to see a few showers and storms pop up. I do want to prepare you, though, and just get the mindset that coverage is going to be pretty low, with more of us than not, unfortunately, missing out. But for those that cashed into the activity last night and even yesterday evening, take a look. Over an inch being estimated by your authority radar near Gonzales from some showers and storms that were able to move into the eastern reaches of our area, just southeast of Seguin, almost 2 inches. San Marcos and New Braunfels, right along the I-35 corridor in between those two cities, saw a few different thunderstorms move in. Almost 3 inches of localized rain reported there. If you do tap into a shower or storm today, notice here on your futurecast that looks to be after 5 p.m. for the most part. You can expect some brief pockets of heavy rain, perhaps some lightning and thunder, but notice coverage is going to be very low, and I wish it was higher, because after that, rain chances are pretty much out of the forecast by tomorrow and through next week. So the heat is still going to be the big story over the next 7 to 10 days. 80 degrees right now here in San Antonio. Feels like 82. Winds out of the northeast at about 5 miles per hour. We'll see plenty of sunshine into the early afternoon. 94 by 1 p.m. Your feels like temperature already in the low triple digits. So you're going to feel that when you step outside thanks to that humidity in place. 98 degrees, the forecast high. There's that 20% chance for an isolated shower storm later on today, really into the early evening hours. Most of us are expected to reach the upper 90s, 99 on the south side of Bexar County near Stinson, 98 at Floresville. I do think a few triple digits will be possible, mainly west of the I-35 corridor, 100 in Hondo, 101 in Sabinal. Looking ahead to next week, there's that high pressure system, the big blue H, that's going to wobble around a bit, a little bit to the west, a little bit to the east, but for the most part, it's just sitting over the state of Texas. And with these high pressure systems, we see sinking air that suppresses the rain chances, unfortunately, and just means that those temperatures are going to stay elevated. So for context, our average high is about 97 for this time of year. We're going to be a few degrees above that into next week. Again, Sarah, it's nothing that we have haven't dealt with before.
Right.
I think we were just spoiled at the end of July with the rain and the slightly cooler than average temperatures. So our bodies are getting acclimated again to that heat. So with the kiddos heading back to school for most next week, it's just going to be really important to think about all that heat in the forecast.
Right, we had like a month vacation from the heat.
We really did. It was really nice, but now we're just kind of getting back into it.
Right in time for school start.
I know.
Of course.
Timing. It's just great.
Thanks, Mia. It's 8:17, 80 degrees. Charter schools with Texans Khan Academy got a big cash donation. What that money will go towards, we'll explain after. This year, charter schools with Texans Khan Academy received an $850,000 donation from its sister organization, Cars for Kids. So the money is set to ease the challenges some students face in school. This particular charter school system has 12 schools across the state, with one right here in San Antonio. The school helps students who are at risk of not graduating and those who need to graduate early. The unique thing about this grant is how it will be used in both traditional and non-traditional ways.
Utility bills, diapers, formula, car repair, you name it.
We give out the food on Thursday after school. We also have a clothing closet, so that way if students can't afford uniforms, we can help them.
We're really focusing in on our career, college, and military readiness, along with our career technology education. So we're building in a campus, a CTE, CCMR, campus facilitator, and that person is going to be there to further support that college going and career going culture that we have on our campuses.
The charter system has big goals of what they want to improve over the next few years, but they see this grant as a major step in the right direction. It's 8:22 and 80 degrees. It's tax-free weekend. After the break, what you need to know before you head out to the store. If you've been wanting to save on a few bucks on back-to-school shopping, now is the time to go do it this weekend. So Texas has a sales tax holiday on many back-to-school items. Our Garrett Merger went to Walmart to handle his own kids' back-to-school shopping to see what's included on the sale and how it's helping more than parents just prepare.
It's back to school time, and every family's got a shopping list, even me.
Fortunately for me, it's tax-free weekend.
Start from the top. Markers. Hey, markers.
But tax-free didn't mean it wasn't taxing.
Do I want felt tip pens? Wait, was there a difference?
It didn't get much better.
Making decisions. I'm not paralyzed by all of this. She's a tween. If I get her the wrong stuff, I'm dead. Do I get her one of these? I mean, she's not an accountant, but I'm not sure if she's supposed to put all of her stuff in here.
Fortunately, a teacher was on hand to help me narrow things down.
You don't want the D ring, you want a C ring.
Miss Morris just moved to town and was getting her own school supplies.
I didn't know about the tax-free weekend. That's a Texas thing. We don't have that in Washington.
Well, here's a teachable moment. Texas's tax-free weekend is mainly about back to school. So most school supplies and backpacks priced under $100, tax-free. Same for most clothing and shoes, though not athletic wear. Computers and most electronics besides calculators, also out. But for most of the shoppers we talked to, tax-free weekend wasn't something they planned for anyway.
We wanted to come last week, but life just got ahead of us and school starts on Monday.
Did you save shopping until the tax-free weekend, or?
No, I just procrastinated.
But it'll still save a couple bucks.
No tax, no tax, no tax, no tax, no tax, no tax. Oh, looks like we got text on face tissue and duct tape. That's it. Not bad.
Garrett Berger.
Super saving. Saving is super. Do-do-do-do.
KSAT 12 News.
Oh, Garrett. I sit next to him at work, and he is a fun guy. So right now on KSAT.com, we have everything you need to know about tax-free weekend. Just look for this story on the back-to-school section to see which items qualify for the exemption. Interesting, tissue did not qualify. Okay, 8:27, 80 degrees, a new construction project underway on the northeast side. Our RJ Marquez took a trip there to see how it's impacting drivers. That's ahead in our next half. Good morning. It's 8:30 on Saturday, August 10th. Oh, it's the weekend for most kids. It's their last weekend before they head back to school for the most part. And it is tax-free weekend. Mia, I mean, if those kiddos want to maybe celebrate the weekend with pool time, today is a good day because it's going to be very, very hot.
I would say find any way that you can to stay cool this afternoon. If you are headed to the pool, some large body of water, stay hydrated and keep the sunscreen handy. The UV index is going to be very high this afternoon, which means it only takes 15 minutes to start developing a sunburn if you don't have sunblock on. Just something to think about. Also, want to get you the latest pollen count if you are planning on spending some time out and about today. Here's some good news to kick off the weekend. Molds fall into the low category at 480 today. Pigweed and ragweed are also present, but more good news, they are low. Not so great news, the heat that we're going to be dealing with later on this afternoon. It already is a warm start here in San Antonio, waking up to 80 degrees here in the Alamo City, 77 in New Braunfels, 83 in Del Rio. Current temperature for folks up in Bernie and Kerrville, good morning to you. Currently checking in at about 75. We're going to see plenty of sunshine throughout the day today. A few passing clouds here and there into the afternoon, trying to provide some of us with a little bit of shade, but take a look at high temperatures across the region later on this Saturday. 97 in Gonzales, 99 in Pleasanton. A few triple digits will be possible, especially along and west of the I-35 corridor. 103 in Cotulla, 104 in Laredo, 103 as well out there in Del Rio. And keep in mind that, yes, we have the humidity in place, so feels like temperatures could climb upwards of 105 to even 107 in a few locations. So, yes, a very toasty start to the weekend. It is possible that we see an isolated shower or storm mainly after 5 p.m. this evening. Not going to be for everybody. Coverage relatively low. And then after that, high pressure in control tomorrow and into next week, which means the heat will continue to be the big story. So we'll have another breakdown of that, plus a check at the tropics with a disturbance to monitor in the central Atlantic. Sarah.
Mia, thank you. So you can drive almost anywhere in our growing city and you'll see some sort of construction. A new one is now underway on the northeast side on Wurzbach Road. Oh my gosh, I got stuck in this traffic earlier this week. So RJ Marquez took a trip to the area to check out this project and see how it's affecting people that drive there every day.
I've been in this location for 25 years. Big difference.
Ashraf Nahil owns the popular Alibaba International Food Market on Wurzbach and has seen some big changes to the traffic there.
The numbers of cars, I don't want to say tripled, minimum doubled.
That growth prompted the city to give Wurzbach a much-needed $2.3 million facelift with money from a 2017 bond.
What we're trying to do is really improve some of the pedestrian safety and experience through this corridor by rebuilding a lot of the sidewalks.
Not only the sidewalks, but improve access to bus stops and businesses for people who use Wurzbach every day. Do you feel like these changes were needed for the sidewalks and just the amount of businesses?
A lot of people walk into our location here or some other businesses on Wurzbach from those apartments behind us. So a lot of walking people, so they need those sidewalks.
We spotted Darius Hinton walking to a job interview.
I understand that in construction, those things do take time. The sooner the better type of thing, but if they can get it done, then that's all that really matters, honestly.
So this construction is already underway right here at the intersection of Wurzbach and Blumel Road. But take a look right here to my left. There is a look at some of the sidewalks here. You can see how narrow those sidewalks are and just how dangerous and tricky that could be for people or families that are walking along this stretch of Wurzbach Road. So again, this is the first of 4 phases of construction right here on Wurzbach Road. And the idea is to help people get to and from bus stops and also help them get safely through some of these sidewalks. The work is being done overnight and should not affect daytime traffic until phase 4, which will be near the Fern Glen neighborhood.
Typically, they'll close the outermost lane next to the sidewalk. They'll keep at least 1 lane in each direction open at all times like this.
The entire project, which will ultimately stretch from I-10 to Fredericksburg Road, is expected to be done early next year. And business owners we talked to say the communication from the city has been clear.
Since Alibaba is an international food market, they gave me a letter in 3-4 different languages to post it in my window.
A lot of people that walk up and down these roads, do you see a lot of that?
In this area, you see people from all over the world. Most of these families, they don't have a car, so they do a lot of walking. And they go to all these stores here, so they use the sidewalk.
RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
RJ, thank you. Happening today, a back-to-school fair for students and their families at Palo Alto College. It's happening from 9 to noon today. Our Devin Karp is there now. So Devin, I know it doesn't start till 9, and earlier you guys had a line already.
Yeah, Sarah, this is a pretty big deal. We already saw a line of people waiting to get in, which seems to be pretty common for this event happening every year. In fact, I'm here with Texas House District 117 Director Clarissa Vega, who's going to explain a little bit of just how important this event is. Clarissa, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me this morning.
Of course. All right. So tell me, what is going on for anyone who doesn't know?
Yes, so we are out here at Palo Alto College today giving out free backpacks and school supplies. University Health is here also doing immunizations. They are requesting that you make an appointment online at healthyuexpress.com. We do have a little bit of time for some walk-ins, so we encourage you to come on by. We'll be here until 12 o'clock. And we're going to have a great event. We've got balloon houses out there. We've got some bubble party about to happen. And we have about 20 community organizations that'll be passing out their school supplies and some materials about the programs that they offer.
Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of different local organizations here. What are some of the things people can take advantage of if they're able to come to this back to school fair today?
Sure. So San Antonio Food Bank will be here. They'll be signing up families for any local benefits or resources that they may need. You can grab a produce bag as long as we have them for. And then you can get resources about our office and what we do at the representatives. If anybody has any issues regarding any state agencies, they need to get in touch with DPS, DMV, HHSC, any Medicaid SNAP issues, they can give our office a call and we can reach out to the agency on their behalf.
Yeah, and something I've noticed, I feel like our community is really good at putting on back to school events. I mean, we've been to a lot here on GMSA. Why do you think it's important that people step up and do this to get our families ready for the school year again?
Sure. I think it's very important that we step up and support our communities. It's a difficult time right now for some people, and we want to be there to support them and make sure that they have the backpacks and the supplies and the materials that they need in order to start off their school year and be successful for the rest of the year.
Fantastic. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being with us this morning, Clarissa. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, of course. So this is going to be going on today from 9 to noon. There are walk-in appointments that are available. Again, we are at the Palo Alto Performing Arts Center that's on the southwest side of town. It's going to be going on here. A lot of different community organizations, and not a bad place to go if you want to hop in between back-to-school shopping, you know, if you're taking advantage of that tax-free weekend. But for now, I'm going to send it back to you, Sarah. Devin Karp, KSAT 12 News.
Devin, thank you. And today, the Westside Family YMCA is hosting a back-to-school fair from 9 to noon as well. This is happening on 29 Ruiz Street. The fair is on a first-come, first-served basis for free backpacks and school supplies. Vaccines will also be available. If you want to have some fun with the family, this fair is hosting an evening with arts and crafts and a movie happening tonight from 8 to 10 p.m. It's a great way to celebrate the last weekend before school starts. The park will be screening Monsters University. That is my favorite Monsters movie. It's a free family event, so bring the kids and enjoy a night of fun. Now to the race for the White House. Both Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump are making their case to voters this weekend. Here's ABC's Zareen Shaw as a new polling analysis suggests the race is now dead even.
This morning, dual rallies across the West. Vice President Kamala Harris continuing her blitz across swing states, now to Arizona, attending a rally with thousands. Harris continuing the rollout tour just days after picking Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her vice presidential running mate on the Democratic ticket. Walz touting the number of attendees in Arizona.
You know, it's not as if anybody cares about crowd sizes or anything. So.
You know what? Hold on a second. Hold on.
At one moment, a protester interrupting Harris.
Let me just say this on topic of what I think I'm hearing over there. Let me just speak to that for a moment. Now is the time to get a ceasefire deal and get the hostage deal done.
Harris and Trump both sparring over abortion.
It would ban medication abortion in every state. But we are not going to let that happen because we trust women.
Trump and Harris expected to face off in person after both committed to being at the ABC News presidential debate in September. Trump in Montana overnight. His plane diverted to Billings after mechanical issues in the deep red state, which is not expected to be competitive in November.
It's a big state, it's a beautiful state, and we love it, and we've won it every time by a lot.
Cash App has agreed to pay $15 million in a data breach settlement. The class action complaint cited 2 incidents where access to some account data was compromised, saying this resulted in numerous unauthorized charges impacting Cash App customers. So if you use Cash App, you could be eligible for a piece of that settlement. Head to KSAT.com to learn more information. It's 8:41, 80 degrees still ahead after GMSA on Texas Eats. David Elder brings you, yes, I said this earlier, the largest mozzarella stick and throws it back to Fiesta 2024. There it is. We'll have a preview coming up. With the cheese, you know, the cheese pull. I don't know if like hot cheese is something I want to eat right now at 80 degrees, muggy outside at 8:42 this morning. Mia's going to let us know about our forecast meeting.
All right, welcome back, everybody. So we know that it's going to be a hot weekend here in San Antonio, and that's going to carry over into next week as well. We talk about the heat very often this time of year. It's a given. We also monitor the tropics very closely this time of year as well. 2024 Atlantic hurricane season officially running from June 1st through November 30th, with what we know is the climatological peak of hurricane season residing on September 10th. So you can see now, this August 10th, we're just a month away from that peak of hurricane season. The East Coast has seen some effects from a tropical system over the past week or so. That was at one point Hurricane Debbie that made 2 landfalls over the past 7 days, one in Florida and a second in the Carolinas. You can see the remnants of that system, just some lingering rain now across the New England states and even stretching over into New Brunswick. But the biggest thing, besides a few tornadoes that were reported along the East Coast over the past week or so, multiple flooding instances and still a lot of flood alerts in place across the eastern seaboard this Saturday morning. This is why. Check this out. Take a look at these rainfall totals since Sunday. Almost 11 inches in Wilmington. Almost 13 inches in Charleston, South Carolina. So 10 to 15 inches localized, 20 plus were found across parts of the East Coast. Thankfully, things are starting to ease up there. But now our eyes turn to the central Atlantic for another disturbance is now tracking west. The latest update in this morning from the National Hurricane Center giving this a high 80% likelihood of developing into a tropical system as it approaches the Lesser Antilles and then eventually the Caribbean later this week and into next week. That right now is expected to take a turn farther up to the north. A lot of the early guidance that we've seen suggests that this is not going to be a Gulf system, so we're not really expecting any impacts or anything like that for south central Texas, but just know that that's something that we are going to continue to monitor pretty closely here over the next several days. By the way, in case you were curious, the next name on the list for this year in terms of named storms will be Ernesto. Back here at home, it is going to be all about the heat over the next several days. 81 right now here in San Antonio. It's 83 in Pleasanton. Now 84 out west in Del Rio. Rock Springs waking up to 79 this 8 a.m. hour. As we head into the afternoon, still expecting plenty of sunshine. 96 by 2 p.m. Feeling closer to 104. So that humidity is going to make those feels like temperatures climb into the triple digits, even if our actual air temperatures are slightly below that. 98 the forecast high here in town. And there's that 20% potential for an isolated shower or storm after 5 p.m. You can see here on your Futurecast, coverage is expected to be very low, but it's possible by 6, 7 near Fredericksburg, Kerrville, even near Uvalde and Hondo. 8, 9 p.m. we see a few isolated splash and dash showers and storms again. Pockets of heavy rainfall along with some lightning and thunder will be possible. No need to cancel your Saturday evening plans or anything like that. Just know that that's something we'll be keeping our eyes to the sky for. After that minimal rain chance today, rain chances are out of the forecast into next week with the heat. Still the big story, high temperatures near or in the low 100s. We'll be right back.
SA Live is hitting the road for Great Local Coffee. It's a family-owned spot on the northwest side serving up some creative lattes and matchas. Ooh, a latte would go so hard right now. All right, Jen Tobias Strusky's SA Live takes us to the Early Bird Coffee.
Early Bird Coffee is a family-owned Java stop known for making every drink with love, including syrups, all handmade here at their shop off I-10 and Huebner. Today we go inside to see what's new on the menu. Here now with Sydney. It's been a while since we've been here. So you have some changes. You have some new items on the menu. So tell us what's new here at Early Bird Coffee.
So we do have affogatos that we just recently started doing whenever summer started. And so I have the pistachio flavor, and then we also have salted caramel, and that comes with 2 shots of espresso on the side. And then we also have like a lavender matcha affogato. So that one kind of has the same concept. So it's lavender gelato, and then with 2 ounces of the matcha that goes over the top.
You mentioned gelato. That's different, right? Most places don't use gelato.
Right, yeah.
So can you tell me more about what an affogato is?
So an affogato, it comes with 2 shots of espresso, and then it has the 2 scoops of ice cream with it. So whether it's the salted caramel, the pistachio, or the lavender. And the lavender is the one that comes with the matcha.
Okay, which one's your favorite?
I think I like the pistachio one. Yeah, I'm a big pistachio person though. So
sounds amazing. Yeah. Okay, and then you guys have a new, I heard, cold foam?
Yes. So that one is with our famous horchata latte. So the horchata I do make from scratch, and that one it does have dairy in it. So for people who do have like a dairy allergy or any restrictions, but it has the 2 shots of espresso with the horchata milk, and then it has the strawberry cold foam on top, and it's served iced.
So good. And I know that your team was telling me that cold foam, I mean, they take their time to perfect that,
Yeah,
right?
it's made in-house too, so it does take a little bit of time to make, but it is really good.
It's worth the wait, right?
Yeah, it's good.
And then you guys also have my favorite, the matcha, I know, the lavender matcha, and even the lavender rosemary matcha?
Yes, so I have both of those, and then I actually this summer I made a new flavor as well. It's a Earl Grey matcha also, so that one's really good as well. So all those syrups I make from scratch. I think my favorite though is either the Earl Grey or the rosemary. They're both really good, and they're good with oat milk. I think, like preference-wise, those are the best way to
That's
drink
always
them.
the best with the oat milk.
Yeah.
Yes. Speaking of the syrups, you guys take pride in you make all of them. So how many different flavors?
We have 12 as of right now. So I just came out with last week. I just started serving brown sugar and a praline flavor, and then of course I can't wait for fall because I can't wait to make like pumpkin and stuff like that. So
okay, well then I have to ask just to give our viewers a sneak peek. When can we expect those fall flavors to drop?
Probably,
more or less.
I would say like going into late September, October.
Okay.
I feel like that's always a good time to start bringing those things out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Channel the colder weather too.
Yeah. So we can all be hopeful that it's going to cool down.
Exactly. And then you also have all the favorites on the menu from when you guys started, right?
Yes. Yeah. Horchata is still our #1 seller, and then matcha is always going to be really popular. I feel like because with our extended hours, a lot of people do get matchas in the afternoon, so they do. It's a good refresher in the afternoon, but still has caffeine in it.
Yes.
So.
I asked that today. I'm like, I'm getting a matcha, but does it have enough caffeine? Yes, it does. Okay, I learned from your team, and then also some pastries, right?
Yes, we do have fresh pastries as well that we get daily in-house. So.
Perfect, and extended hours, like Sydney said. So you guys are open till 6 now? Is that right?
So Monday through Friday is from 6:30 to 6, and then Saturday is 8 to 6, and then Sunday we do close at 2 p.m., but we open at 8.
Perfect.
Yes.
All right. And anything else you'd like to add?
We hope to see you guys out here and come in and stay cool and enjoy some coffee.
Perfect. Thank you, Sydney. For more information, you can head to our website, salive.com, click the As Seen on SA Live tab, or scan the QR code on your screen. Time for coffee.
Yeah. Thanks, Jen.
There is hot chicken on the menu. You got sandwiches. You got pieces of bread loaded up with the pickles and the chicken, loaded fries, and the largest mozzarella stick the whole planet's ever seen. I've never seen anything like this before. It is ridiculous.
Looks over the top, insane. All right, that's the drink. Oh yeah, give me some elbow. Give me some foot. Bam! This is Fiesta 2024. That's what it's all about. That's amazing. Thank you. You guys rock. Oh my gosh. Viva Fiesta!
Now we're here on the north side of San Antonio to go inside of a new restaurant that is serving up scratch-made Mexican cuisine, and it's all made with love, and it's family-owned and operated. Let's go see what's on the menu at Maíz.